Hi. This started off as a joke, but the more I thought about it, the funnier it was. So here I am. Also, if there's a lot of cuts, it's because I'm cringing. I'm cringing about what I'm about to tell you guys. If you haven't noticed, this is story time. I don't know if this is gonna be a series of mine. Probably will be, because I have a lot of things to share. This one happened not that long ago. We'll call him John. To all the Johns out there, I'm terribly sorry, but we're sticking with John. John was not a bad person. I don't think he was a bad person. But his mentality was a little naive, I'd say. He's one of those types of people who thinks meeting someone within a week or so is his true love. Yeah. So anyway, I hadn't really talked to him about it for a while, for as long as I've known this guy, which is about a year or so. And it's not my problem, nor is it my business. It's his life. It's his choice. So out of respect, I chose not to really do anything, but I would kind of jab at him about it. However, we did had a semi-argument as well as kind of a heartfelt conversation about it, because it was a little concerning. I valued him like a brother. And I cared for him a lot. So I did end up talking to him about it, and I told him that the things you do is it's not helping you. You're obviously getting heartbroken by all these people who clearly don't give a shit about you. So fast forward in time to a week or so ago. By the time this video comes out, I have no idea how long it would have been. I'll probably put it somewhere here, time frame maybe. But John here had changed his Discord status and bio, and I initially saw his status at first. That got me curious. When I clicked on his profile to message, I noticed his bio change saying he was in a relationship. Me being the curious person that I was, I messaged him about it, and I asked, hey, so you're in a relationship, huh? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool, and just for shits and giggles, all right? Just because I was really wanting to know, because due to how he was in the past, I just wanted to know. So I asked him, how long has he known this person? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I thought he was joking, but he was not. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Anyways, how was it go? I was understandably disappointed, because I thought he had learned from this from our previous conversation, or at least from the repeated issues that came with these fast, impulsive relationships that he's falling for. But I didn't really want to talk about it because I already did, so I just kind of moved forward and I changed the topic. And I'd say within a day or two later after that conversation, he messages me and was curious about my reaction, because this is through DMs, by the way, on Discord. And I did make it known that I wasn't entirely happy with what he did, but I didn't really elaborate my feelings about it, nor did I really want to talk about it. But he pestered me. He pestered me about it, and I, for the life of me, did not want to talk about it, because for those who do know me, I am very brutally honest. I will tell you how I really think and feel, even if it's something you might not like to hear. So I told him that, I don't want to have this conversation. What I'm gonna have to say, you're not gonna like it. I know you're not gonna like it. He still asked for it, so I gave him the honest, truth that I was disappointed in him, and I'm upset that he decided to do this. But it's your life, your choice, whatever, right? What followed after the conversation was a full-blown argument that I knew was gonna happen, but he wanted this, so I gave it to him. And the conversation left me very, very stressed. It was at this point like 4 in the morning at my time zone, 4 in the morning. We live in the same general time zone, so we were both up super fucking late talking about his 2-week meeting of a girl that he's now in a relationship with. And this had triggered me so much that I had swapped out. I have the ID. If you want to believe me, you can. If you don't want to, that's to your right. I do not care, to be honest. But I had swapped out with an alter. When I came back to the conversation, at this point it had been even later, like 5 or so in the morning, and I realized the conversation with John continued with my alter this time. And it was incredibly one-sided. So one-sided. I haven't seen a one-sided argument that painfully bad in so long until that moment. So, to basically sum up their conversation is my alter was trying to calm him down, as well as trying to understand, as well as trying to get my point of view across to him, because it didn't seem like he understood my worries, my concerns. And John wasn't having it. He wasn't having it at all. Which is unfortunate, it was unfortunate. And he later sent a voice message, like a 6-minute long tangent. And in that recording, I heard him say like that I was get this, that I was a coward for hiding behind my alter, that I wouldn't get up to talk to him on VR chat or on call, even though my husband was asleep. It was 4 or 5 in the morning, had absolutely no regard to other people around me in my life, and just me as a person, and thinks that I'm a coward and a overall loser for not talking to him like a quote-unquote adult. An adult, guys. I was so flabbergasted by all of this, and after he sent that 6-minute tangent of everything he's already said it through text, he just kind of reiterated it, but added insult to me, saying all that stuff, as well as saying that I was being disrespectful of him and his girlfriend. I don't know. But after that, I found out I was shortly afterwards blocked. I panicked because at the time I didn't want to lose him as a friend. I never had such a large argument before with him, so this was very new and very bizarre, especially with his reaction. So I tried reaching out to somebody who knew him. They got back to me, and they did mention that it was strange that John kind of out of nowhere blocked me, him reacting like this. But shortly after, like, I did kind of calmed down afterwards, and I was like, look, I'm not looking to be friends with him, because let's be real, who wants to stay friends with someone like that? Not me, that's for damn sure. So, you know, I told him, best of luck, you know, best of luck. I don't want to deal with that again. And then, you know, out of just pure curiosity, I was speaking to my best friend about this, and I really wanted to know how, like, what other people would think about this without having context, just reading purely from my DMs alone. So she pulled a friend of hers into a call with me and her, and I shared screen my conversation with this guy, and with no context, by the way. The only context we've given him was that my alter was involved. He read the entire thing and even found John ridiculous. I got a good laugh out of it, to be fair. At least I know I wasn't crazy for feeling and thinking about what I felt and thought. And this is where started the joke of me starting this entire video. I have many, many more stories to share. It's kind of funny how much stupidity I deal with, but you know, it's life. It's life. Moral of the story? Don't fall in love with people you've only known for 2 weeks. Please. Please. And for a side note that I want to bring up is in the conversation with my alter and John suddenly switched his narrative of knowing her for 2 weeks to a couple months, which I found hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, yeah. One more thing. I am starting a new-ish series, I guess, along with this one. You can look for the link in my bio. It is a what's the word? A social experiment, you could say. And I have seen a couple of other videos being done, but these videos were set in person, and I wanted to bring it to the online world. So if you're interested in being part of that, you can look in my bio and follow the link through there. You will just answer a simple 1-question thing, and your response may appear in my video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my stupid stories. And I will see you all again.